you strongly connect with animals?
Yes.
Do you feel it? Okay. She makes me feel like there's a potential for you to be pet whisperer or talking to pets. Or have you ever seen animal communicators?
Oh,
People who,
yeah.
okay, has that like intrigued you before?
Yes, very much. Yes.
Okay, she tells me that you know how to do that. So I think you may want to check those things out. I've got at least three people here. I know I have two women. Both of them feel really maternal. The one of them is a grandmother, and I think it would be your maternal grandmother that has to be passed. You also have a man here. He's a grandfather on the paternal side. And then is your mother also passed?
Yes.
Okay. These are the people who are here right now. I can feel that there are more, but this is like the lineup that we have. Mom's first, grandmother next, and then grandfather after that. So they've been listening great. As soon as I was like, get in line,
Oh,
they're like, this is really good. Do you understand this lady packing a punch? Because there's something about her that just feels like there's a lot of energy. And this is really
oh
strange.
yeah.
I just like,
Yeah.
she's kind of an overpowering person in some
Oh,
way.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
because from I haven't had someone who's so like I can't even get out my explanation before things. Usually they don't interrupt until prayer time. So I know that I have somebody here who's like, and even then, usually they don't interrupt me, you know? And she's an excitable person, I would say as well, and lots of energy. She feels like kind of a little thing in this way
Mhm.
of like yeah, okay, because she keeps showing me that. And she makes me feel like her hair before she passed in her older age was the exact same color as yours. Do you understand
Yes.
this thing? So she's showing me that, and like she's little and she's like a silver. I call my dad has beautiful silver hair like yours. I call him a silver fox. So she's making
Oh,
me hear silver fox. She's like, we're both like that. We had the exact same hair. The way she says pack a punch is because she's showing me as like this little thing with the same color hair as yours who's excitable and like really just like I said, packs a punch, like a lot of energy. There was like a lot of good stuff between you two, but there was also something about all the energy that she had. There was an aspect of her energy that took up a lot of space. Do you understand this piece? Took up a lot of space in your life growing up
yes.
in that piece. And you have a different energy than she does. There's something that's softer and doesn't need to I would say be the center of attention in the same way. Do you understand why she would say that?
Yes.
Because she
Very
wants
much.
to give you this big acknowledgement that for you, it makes me feel like when mom was in the room, especially when it was a social thing, because she was social, and I think appearances mattered to her, and I think people seeing her in a certain way was important to her. Do you understand that piece?
Yes.
And
Yes.
in your mind, probably a little bit too important because she says that all that energy had a lot of pros to it. There were a lot of good things about that. There was a
Yes.
lot of life in the house, excitement and joy for life, right? But sometimes, especially when you were younger, and actually, I would say throughout your life before she passed, it kind of feels like you have to stand back and give her space to just be all she wants to be and take up all the space she wants to take. Okay. And this would be a really, really important acknowledgement for her because for most of her life, I don't feel that she was completely aware of how her taking up that much space affected other people that she genuinely loved. Do you understand?
Hmm.
Now, it's not that I never understood the way that I came off or how vivacious I appeared to other people, but I didn't understand to the extent that it affected others and in the exact ways. Because
Yes.
she makes me feel that there was something at certain times that was hurtful to you about just how much space she took because it made you feel as if it took away from you having space to just be a different kind of energy. Because in her mind, it may have been
Yes.
subtle, but she was like, this is the way to do it. This is the way to get what you want. So she took a lot of pride in the way that she was, and she wore a badge about it. But
Hmm.
nobody necessarily came up to you when you were a little girl and said outright, you're different than me, and that's great. And sometimes you're quieter. And sometimes you just want to be in a space that's silent. You don't always need to talk out everything. You don't always want to talk out everything. But if you have somebody who will sit with you, eventually you'll start to say some words and you'll start to feel safe to let some things out. but that
Yeah.
is a space that wasn't created for you on a regular basis. So in some
Yeah.
ways, it makes me feel like you always wondered if you had to be a little bit more her way or a different way than you actually were. And that was a big challenge that you struggled with and that you have
Mhm.
struggled with throughout your life. And there's a really important message. If you hear nothing else in this whole reading, your mom is here for one huge reason, maybe more. And that is, I'm so sorry if I made you feel that you should have been more like me. You were born to be like you all the time. And what I would love more than anything is for you to have an insane amount of confidence in the way that you walk into a room and just your natural energy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh no, are you frozen? Shit. There we go. We're all good. What's the last thing you heard
Okay.
me say? Did
Okay.
you hear me say if you hear nothing else?
Yes, and
Okay,
then
I'm gonna
then
start
it
right
cut off,
there.
right?
I'm just gonna start right there because she's still right here. If you hear nothing else in this whole reading, the thing that's the most important is I'm so sorry if I made you feel that you were supposed to be anything but who you are. You're not supposed to be like me. You came in with a really different energy for me to also learn from you. And to be honest, I learned it. She makes me feel like she started to become aware of some of this later in life before she passed. Do you understand that piece?
Yes.
So she feels that she did start to really learn that lesson and that you were actually a teacher for her in this life. But of course, when you pass to the other side, you get an even more clear and expansive perspective that helps you take that home in a bigger way. And it makes me feel from her that she wishes that she would have picked up on this at a much earlier stage in life.
Wow.
It took a while for it to kick in. And I believe that there was a conversation, at least one, that she would have had with you to in some way acknowledge this. Do you understand that piece?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, because she says, "We talked about it. I did come to understand that." And it feels like one of your mom's main reasons for coming through too would be to give you confidence in self and confidence in your own natural energy. If you're never going to be the loudest person in the room, great. It's not about that. That's not where your power comes from. It's not about
Mhm.
and unfortunately, societally, we do a really terrible job of teaching people how valuable their skills are when their skills are quieter or when their skills
Mhm.
are more intangible. Do you understand?
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean that you have to value them any less or that they are less valuable. In fact, a lot of these kinds of skills are the things that the world is starving for the most and that make a big impact. We are needing more people to wake up at this time. And she said,
Wow.
if you watch more videos of people who channel all kinds of things, you'll understand that there's a lot of people saying that there's a wonderful thing going on in the world, even though it doesn't feel like that when you look out into the world. And that is there's a lot of people being more curious about all the things that are possible, in
Yes.
the spiritual realm or in the realm of things not yet proven and measured. She says you have the biggest heart and you're very empathic. Your ability to feel what other people are feeling, you're a crier. Do you understand that? And so
Yes.
you really deeply experience and you have empathy. And you're gonna understand the way she says, "Doesn't it feel like the world is running short on that right now?" And so
Yes.
you have a superpower and something about how empathy plays into your gifts is incredibly important for you to pursue. So I'm not sure if that connects to anything specific that you know of, but the way that you can feel emotions for others and create space for others to feel that there's compassion, there's mercy, there's empathy for them is,
Mhm.
I'd say, one of your superpowers. And also, too, I don't know if you've contemplated anything in the psychic realm ever before,
Yeah.
but your ability to feel into somebody's energetic aura is where psychic work focuses. It's about reading the energetic auric space of another person, and you're
Mhm.
already so connected to that that
Wow.
she says you would knock the socks off yourself. You would surprise yourself if you started doing some of that work to see how in tune you already are with other people. Because you have high level emotional intelligence. However, the only thing that gets in the way of you being accurate in that, and then you beat yourself up a lot too about things, she says, so stop doing that. But the only thing that makes you think, oh, maybe I can't do this is You have fears and, some things around self-confidence. Do you understand
Yes.
struggling with self-confidence? So she just says, "Your fears of being unworthy, not good enough." But the thing about lack of self-confidence and fear is that they're of lower vibrations.
Mm,
And lower vibrations block energetic readings is basically what they do. So it's not that
mm,
you don't have a clear connection, but it's that if you're nervous before a reading, fine. If you're fearful before a reading, it's a lot harder to have an accurate reading. If you're confident before a reading, you might get into a flow state and progress faster. If you think you're never going to be good enough, it makes it a lot harder. That's the elusive thing about this kind of work, right?
mhm,
And so that's why she has a lot of encouragement for you. And this is really important for you too. Whatever you need to do to get yourself into a state of true, genuine self-confidence, whether and she also says that maybe getting support from someone else to help you reprogram the way that you feel and think about things. Because for
mhm.
all of us, what we learn when we're little gets kind of hardwired in a way, but it's not that it can't be changed or it can't be upgraded. Do you understand that piece?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. Um,
Do you strongly connect with animals?
yes.
Do you feel like okay, she makes me feel like there's a potential for you to be pet whisperer or talking to pets, or have you ever seen animal communicators?
Oh,
People who
yeah.
okay, has that, like, intrigued you before?
Yes, very much. Yes.
Okay, she tells me that you know how to do that, so I think you may wanna check those things out. Okay, she's also talking about a pair of earrings, and they look small like studs, and it makes me feel that she would have left them behind. Do you know what I'm talking about right now?
Not sure.
Okay, I want you to look in her jewelry box.
I have her jewelry. I'm trying to think about which one is. I have a lot of little boxes that
Yeah.
she had stuff in.
But
Uh,
it's
Anyway.
a little piece of it's a little pair of studs, and they look like they're either turquoise, blue, or green. I can't really tell of that hue.
Oh, yes.
Do you know those?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
She just brings them up. She's like, "These are little studs. These were mine." I saw them as turquoise, but sometimes I leave that alone, and then she kept showing me the color, so I was like, "Okay, it's turquoise, it's green, or it's blue or something," but there's little stud earrings that she's just it's just further
Mhm.
validation for you to know that this is me, I'm here.
Yes.
For your mom, she wants you to know that she's at peace because she's reunited with mom too, and it feels like she would be looking forward to seeing her mom when she passed. Do you understand that?
Yes.
It makes me feel to her that one of the things she was really looking forward to was seeing her mom again. I mean, she
Yes.
really couldn't wait,
Yes.
um, and 100 million times better than she would have hoped for, because the love that you feel when you pass, she just makes me feel is so overwhelming. And
Yes.
you get to keep taking that in. Your husband is a refuge for you, do you understand?
Hmm.
He's totally
Yes.
a refuge, he understands you. If you could see yourself the way your husband sees you, wouldn't that be
Mm.
amazing?
Yeah.
You're getting there, you're getting there, you're getting there. So just you let you see yourself the way your father and your husband see you, but especially your husband is what I have to say, because they see
Mm.
everything beautiful about you, and they love it exactly the way it is, and for any of your human flaws, they love those exactly as they are too. They're not stressed about you changing those. Put
Mhm.
more effort into what you already have, and just don't worry about the things that aren't perfect yet, because you
Mm.
have a lot of abilities and skills. I love you, but you know that. I've always loved you so, so much. I'm gonna leave you with their love, okay?
Okay.